First and foremost, thank you very much for hanging out with us on allhiphop.com. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Well, let's go ahead and jump in. Like I said, I had an opportunity to talk with another one of your castmates, Ali, and of course, showrunner Carla Waddles as well on All Hip Hop before. So it's great to be able to kind of speak to a different character on the show. A new perspective. So since we are a music platform, let's go ahead and start off with something more kind of aligned to music and entertainment and stuff like that. So of course, here at All Hip Hop, I've got to ask you, who are your top 5 MCs, dead or alive? Let's go ahead and start us off.
Kendrick, J. Cole,
Okay.
Lil Wayne, Tupac. Fifth one, dead or alive. I don't know what that fifth one is. I'll let you choose.
I can't choose that one. You got to give me that last one. You got to give me that last one. That last one. Yes, too.
Okay, I'll say Drake. He's just so universal. I'll say Drake.
Okay. All right. We got your top 5 MCs, dead or alive. Okay. Now, if someone is just tapping into season 2 of Bel-Air and is not really familiar with the show or your character, can you kind of describe your character, Jackie, and what they can expect from her as this season progresses?
Yeah. Jackie is, she's from South Central. She's Afro-Latina. She grew up in South Central, so she's very street smart. She's very headstrong. Doc, her uncle, has kind of only been her prime caretaker. So she didn't really grow up knowing, what that parent dynamic is like. But she's very independent. She's strong. She's good in school. She's smart. She's a dancer, and she has a lot of goals that she wants to achieve.
Nice. Very nice. Now, what made Jackie a character that you felt you could relate to, that you felt like, when you saw this, you're like, you know what, I think I can relate to her. I think I can breathe life into this character and make her relatable.
I think every character is relatable. I think, I could be any human, I think it's just building that perspective and having that empathy to go there. But, I've been 17 in high school once, I've been a girl who wants love and so I feel like it wasn't too hard. I know we grew up differently. I've had both parents in my life, super, super supportive parents. So that was very fun to jump into, build that world of not having parents like that in my life. So, I am similar to her in some things and not, but I can always relate to her.
Okay. When I looked at your IG, you call yourself a plant-based shorty. So if you could tell us a little bit about that and why you kind of chose that lifestyle.
That's funny. I just want to live a life that doesn't contribute to oppression and suffering. And I think, a lot of people don't see animals as living beings, but I like to think life is more important than taste. And yeah, I know what they go through and the process to get them on our plate. And I just, as easy as it is, I just think life is much more important than taste.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Someone that cares about something outside of just what tastes delicious, but looking at the world overall in terms of causing harm and such. Okay. Understandable. Now, I spoke with Ollie. And as I know, you two are also close, that you talk. He's someone that you definitely work very closely with out there. He told me that when he is not making music, or I should say acting, he's making music. So have you two had an opportunity to kind of collab on any musical sounds? And if so, can we expect some things?
Me and Ollie actually haven't. He shows me his stuff. I show him my stuff, but we've never even thought about that. That's a good question.
Yeah, because when I talked to him, he was all about it. He was just like, if I'm not acting or preparing for some stuff, I'm in the studio. And then I knew that you did music as well. So I said, I wonder if those two have kind of gotten together.
Yeah. No, we haven't actually. That has not even crossed my mind, but that's a good point.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see some stuff, that may even pop up on the Bel-Air soundtrack. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay.
You might have just put something, you might have planted a seed.
All right. Well, you know what? Come back to All Hip Hop and we'll talk about it once you kind of bring it out. Okay. Now, you're such a multifaceted artist that, really has the ability to create in so many different ways in terms of dancing, singing, and of course, we know you for acting. Which one do you kind of gravitate a little bit more towards and why?
That is always a hard question. I really can't choose. I really can't. Dance was my first love, and then it was singing, and then it was acting. But they all are just so different and unique, and I feel like I don't know, they supply me with such different things. It's hard to choose. I can't choose one.
Okay. So they all kind of feed you. It's all different ways in which you can express yourself.
They've all came into my life at different periods of time and have, had significant effect on me. So I couldn't choose one.
Okay. Okay. All right. Fair enough. For this particular role, tell us about the audition process and kind of how you prepared to be on such a successful show with such an amazing cast.
Yeah. It was my first audition with my agent. And yeah, and he's like, hey, I got an audition for you. I'm going to send it to you. And I saw it and I was like, oh, Bel-Air. Okay. I know that show. And I sent in my self-tape, and about a couple of days later, he called me and he's like, they'd like to do a chemistry read with you and Jabari. I was like, okay. And so they sent me the time and I went in. It was a few girls. And then me and Jabari did the chemistry read. And then a few days after that, they called and they're like, they want you to be Jackie. So it was a very short time span. And really? I prepared by, just imagining and putting myself in Jackie's shoes of, growing up in South Central as an Afro-Latina and with my uncle being around. That's really how I prepared, just really trying to be authentic and honest about her life and, her truth.
Excellent. Excellent. What's some of the things when you're not, either singing, dancing, or whatever, you have to do? I know you got a very busy schedule. How do you unwind? How do you relax? How do you lean back when the cameras are off, the lights are down, you're by yourself or with your crew, whatever the case may be? How do you relax?
That's a good question. I love to read on my spare time. I don't know, something so soothing about it. I love reading and I love watching shows. Like I can binge a show all day or watch movies. And I feel like that's just like, it's kind of hard for me to be like, Jazz, you're allowed to do this. You're allowed to have your off day and like, let's chill. But when I do it, I'm like, this is right. Get some popcorn and just watch a good show.
Nice. All right. So with, in terms of other creatives that are looking to kind of get into the space that you're into already, what's some advice you can give to people that are trying to get their footing, or just some things that they should keep in mind as they're pursuing their dreams in this particular area?
I would say play. I think we get caught up in the politics of Hollywood and, what we think they want to see and what we think we should be and how we should look and how we should play it. And I think we lose the basis of why we do what we do, which is to play. I think that is the root of why we do what we do. And once we lose that, I feel like we lose our authenticity and we just become like a robot and just copy other people. So I feel like to stay true to that and, fail, mess up, don't be scared to do that because, there's magic in failures.
Absolutely. And I know obviously you came in on the second season, doing a great job in terms of that. What's been kind of the most challenging, scene or challenging aspect of kind of being on a part of this great show with these great people? What's been kind of the biggest challenge or challenges that you've had to face?
Yeah. I'd probably say not letting myself get to myself. I like to get in my head, and I think trying to persevere through that and not let it cripple me. Just, I am here for a reason. They did pick me. I am enough. I do bring something special to the show. So show it, they love you. So love you too. I think that's been a challenging aspect of, feeling I have to prove why I'm there, but like already knowing it myself.
Got you. Well, we are definitely enjoying everything that you're bringing to the table in terms of this new character, being that new love interest, being that new energy, kind of bringing it there. And as I've looked at the latest season here, I just caught up on the latest episode, things are getting a little spicy in terms of your character as well. We see that there's some layers being kind of pulled back, and we're getting some backstory on some things. So
I was so excited. I was so excited for this episode because they're gonna you finally get to see some of, you just see a very surface Jackie, and then this episode you're like, oh, she's human too. Like she has stuff and demons that she's facing too. So I was very excited about this episode.
Yeah, I said, okay, it looks like, because I was kind of wondering kind of what they were going to do, if we were going to know more. But then when I saw it last night, I was just like, okay, it looks like we're learning a lot more. Well, it's going to be great. Well, listen, we wish you nothing but continued success here at All Hip Hop with this show and many others. But before we let you go, please tell everyone about the different projects you've been a part of so they can binge on those shows as well as continuing to watch you on Bel-Air.
This is my first consistent show, but I've made some guest experiences on This Is Us, All American Homecoming, the movie The High Note with Tracy Ellis Ross. And yeah.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. But you guys make sure you check her out in Bel-Air playing Jackie, doing a thing. Jazlyn is extremely talented. She's a dancer. She's a singer. She does a variety of different things, and super proud of you and what you're bringing to the table. I'm enjoying what you're bringing to the table in terms of the show. I'm looking forward to learning more and seeing more about you. And we definitely appreciate you hanging out with us on All Hip Hop.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Take care. Thanks for your time.